Hello, I'm Richard Hunter, Head of Markets at Interactive Investor, and we're here today to tell you about a new opportunity in the initial public offering front. It's in the form of a company called Augmentum Fintech, and I'm very pleased to say that we have the CEO here today, Tim Levine, who's going to talk us through the upcoming float. So, welcome, Tim. Thanks very much indeed for your time. You've been in the UK tech space for the last 20 years or so, both as an entrepreneur and an investor. Could you give us some sort of idea about how you've got to here today?
So I've watched the UK tech space really scale and grow dramatically over the last 20 years. I was involved with a business called Betfair that has since become one of the most successful UK tech businesses, now a FTSE 100 business. And I guess that really opened my eyes to the opportunity of a new digital player disrupting, in many ways, an old-fashioned industry that was averse to technology advancement. Financial services has been an industry that's been very slow to disrupt. And having spent that time at Betfair and learnt a huge amount along the way, the opportunity to me was to really look for another sector that showed similar characteristics to that of that industry. And I think financial services was the obvious choice. And over the last 6 or 7 years, as I've shifted from operator to investor, it's been a huge learning curve. And I think we've really embraced the financial services disruption space now, as we often hear it's called fintech. We've made a number of investments in the space, some of which you will have heard of. In fact, Interactive Investor is one of our investments, and I think there's a huge opportunity over the next 5 to 10 years to put not only the learnings that we've had over the recent years that have delivered a great return for our investors to date, but also to continue to help to build some of the next generation of financial services companies that are going to become a household brand.
So presumably within the sector that the outside world will see you, that will be somewhere around venture capital, I should imagine. How are you looking to differentiate yourself from the existing traditional venture capital model?
Well, I think venture capital has always prided itself on being a pool of capital that has not just been about money, it's smart money. And having been backed by venture capital from my Betfair days, I've seen the good and the bad. And I think what's incredibly important is that venture capital is smart money. It's not just about giving a company the capital, it's helping them deploy it effectively and help them overcome some of those challenges that they'll have as they scale their businesses. I think for us, we're not backing businesses at the very beginning, which is defined as the seed stage. That is an area that's grown tremendously over the last few years, and we've got a wave of innovation in the fintech space. The challenge there is that it's become more competitive, and in some cases the risk is obviously much higher. We like to be what is defined as the Series A or Series B investor, the first institutional round in many cases that would come in. And our role there really is to help these businesses get to that next stage, to work with the founding team to help anticipate some of the challenges that they'll have along the way. And I think what's really important for the retail investor base, this has been an asset class and that has been unavailable to them. Venture capital has traditionally been the preserve of large institutional capital, pension funds, large endowments, and it hasn't really been open to the retail investor. And I think for us, being one of the few listed permanent capital vehicles that focuses on venture capital, in particular fintech, we really hope that this will democratize the asset class by giving retail investors that opportunity to get access to what we think will be a highly curated set of fintech assets. We see significant number of deals come our way. Our job is not finding the deals, it's making sure we effectively curate that deal flow and pick enough of those companies that will deliver what we think will be a very attractive return over time.
So in terms of what sounds like a very exciting space, what sort of companies have you invested in? Will you likely to be investing in? And what sort of parameters are you putting in place to get to that point?
I think, our challenge is we see a lot of great ideas. But I think at the stage that we typically invest, it's not just about how good the idea is. We need an extraordinary team to be able to execute that idea as well. And so, for us, we really do want to focus on those businesses that are disrupting and disintermediating the financial services space, that have extraordinary teams, and are businesses that can really scale to be a material size. And, that's really where the bulk of our energies will go.
Absolutely fascinating. Thanks once again for your time. That was Tim Levine, CEO of Augmentum Fintech. Thank you very much for watching.